This is Brendan Wilmington of the Left Turn Network, and welcome back to another Lumen Stock Car Invitational race, season number 3, race number 22 of the season. And we are out here in Texas for the second time this season, but we're not running the road course at Coda. We are running the 1.5 mile oval in Fort Worth, Texas, the Texas Motor Speedway. You know, they say everything is bigger in Texas, and nowhere is that more true than in the Lumen Stock Car Invitational, because this is our version basically of the Coca-Cola 600. This is the longest race on the schedule in terms of race distance at 126 miles, beating out the Lumen 500 by 1 whole mile. But before the Lumen 500 was extended to 50 laps, it was still this race was more considerably the longest race this season. But it's still true, so yeah. This is going to be an interesting race for sure, and I am joined for the first time since race number 2 at Rockingham in the booth by Rasha Mahendra. And Rasha, I think this version of Texas is the one that they use in ISRC, or at least a
I
modified version of
believe
it.
so. Identical
Yeah, this is
visuals. But yeah.
this is Texas 2020. And what are you expecting from the race here today?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not familiar with Texas Motor Speedway in this configuration. I don't really watch this races at Texas too much. But I am expecting pretty standard 1.5 mile fare. So I think long runs are gonna be very important. You want to have a good car that can stay consistent over those a course of 25 to 50 laps. How long was this race again?
84 laps.
84, right? Yeah. So you want to have like good pace for the entirety of a run. Another thing you might want to look out for is at least the exit of 4. Things get a little bit hairy there. I've seen incidents pop out of that specific turn quite often, and especially because this is a quad oval style track. Things can get messy over there.
I'm pretty sure this is the only quad oval on the schedule, considering we don't go to Charlotte and never have. So yeah, it's
Yeah, the
very
only other quad
interesting.
ovals are Charlotte and Atlanta.
Oh, we did go to Atlanta earlier. That is true, but Atlanta races much differently now than Texas does. This track is it's really interesting because it's more similar to the last race you called, Rockingham, than you think, because tire management is going to be very important. There's about a second of fall off on tire wear. We're going to have 2 pit stops, and we expect them to be at about lap 30 and lap 60. And because of the race length, uh, when you decide to pit for tires could end up determining who wins the race. And the strategies of pitting early and pitting late cross over with each other just about at that lap 80 point. So we could definitely have a thrilling battle for the win here at the end. Definitely have had some in the test races before. Last year, Luana Connie won this race. Luana Connie also won last week at Phoenix, trying to go for 2 in a row, but it's not her starting on the pole. It's the 79 car of Kobe Hollenbeck. And I keep making references to tracks that open wheel cars go to. This is like this is one of the main ovals that IndyCar races on in
Yeah,
real
this is
life.
the
So he's
quintessential indie big oval, especially now that most big ovals have been taken off the schedule. Texas is kind of the mainstay not named Indianapolis.
yeah. Alongside the 79 of Kobe Hollenbeck is the 81 of Latanya Gray, noted aggressive driver, but she's been struggling this season. Row number 2, another driver that's been struggling this season, JB Chanot. I did not realize how low in points she was. I think she's 26th in points entering this
26th in
race.
points, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s. The results haven't been there for the 29 car.
Yeah, alongside the 29 is the 55 of Michael Harvin. Behind him is his brother, James Harvin, in the 50, who is currently the Amateur Series points leader, alongside the 3 car of Billy Smith, of course, filling in for the injured Montana Sherman after his spill at Kentucky. Row number 4 is the 99 of Akira Tajima, who's jumped into the championship hunt, is now 5th in points. He's 44 points back of the leader. And you're going to see where Tim Berry is starting later, and you're going to think, this is going to get interesting in the points. Corbin Taps is starting alongside the 99 of Tajima, trying to run down JT Boyd for that Rookie of the Year. Row number 5 is the 66 of Landry, 4th in points, Tyler Landry. And the 2 car of Rhea Whitcomb. That is Rhea Whitcomb, right? Yeah, it is.
Yes.
She is competing for the championship in amateurs as well. So it's interesting that both her and James Harvin are starting top 10 in the Cup race. Darren Walker in the 8 alongside the 41 of Karina Willis-Callaway in row 6. Row number 7 is Laken Herndon and Oscar Duvall, who did pretty well here last season before kind of getting screwed over by a caution during the first pit cycle. Rebecca Raymond in the 45 almost won last week at Phoenix, but came up just short, alongside the 88 of Joe Smith. 98, Kevin DuPont, second in points, only 10 points back of Tim Berry now, and starts considerably ahead of him in this race. This could be the first change for the points lead in quite some time here in the Lumen Stock Invitational. Starting alongside him is George Bryan, who would have a lot better of a chance of taking that points lead if he didn't crash out on lap number 5 at Phoenix, putting him dead last. So he's got some ground to make up in the points now. Shauna Everett in the 57 alongside Cheryl Simmons in the 58. Kate Summers in the 92 alongside the 7 of Lori Jackson. Adrian Wheeler in the 28 alongside Jacob Lopez in the 1. And then it's Ashley Blake in the 36, Jack Gino in the 65. Vinny Scholes in the 62, starting in row 14, alongside the 11 of Tim Berry. There is your points leader, starting considerably back from the rest of his championship rivals. So this is going to be important for Tim Berry to make up some spots here, or else he might risk losing his points lead. Randall Riff in the 32, first time we've seen him in quite a bit, I think since Denver, race 15. So that was about 7 races ago. Alongside the 52 of Bridget Brosseau. And this is the first time Bridget Brosseau has run a cup race. She's starting pretty deep in the field, but she is the Starbound Autosports amateur driver, and she's been doing pretty well down there. Not really race win competitive, but still been pretty solid, getting good results. She finished 5th, I think, in the race yesterday, so that's pretty good for her. Luana Connie in the 25. In this pink Calypso scheme, she and Karina Willis-Callaway both running the same sponsor. Of course, she's the defending race winner and also the winner last week, but she's got a lot of ground to make up to try and make it 2 in a row. Alongside her is the 85 of Charlie McCarron, who has been out on a free fall as of late. 77 of JT Boyd, current Rookie of the Year leader, 6th in points, alongside the 18 of Zach Dearman, and rounding out the field is the 70 of Andrew Kreider. Like we mentioned, this race is 84 laps. We're going to have 2 pit stops, one about lap 30, one about lap 60. And we may get cautions, we may not. We'll just have to see how the drivers race here today.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the field will roll off of the back straightaway at Texas. Rasha, who do you think is going to win here in the Lone Star State?
There's a lot of cars to choose from this time. Going to go with someone slightly further back in the field, not necessarily someone who's in the first couple of rows, so I'm going to go with, say, the 41 of Karina Willis-Callaway.
Karina Willis-Callaway has not won since Daytona of Season 1. That is a over 50 race losing streak.
She does have 4 top 5s this season, so she definitely has the pace to contend.
She was very good.
Just hasn't quite clicked at the front yet.
She was very good in the first half of the season, but she's been struggling ever since she missed that Pocono race. We'll see what she can do here today. Kobe Hollenbeck and Latanya Gray starting on the front row. They're going to lead the field to green here, and we are underway at Texas Motor Speedway.
Hollenbeck pushed by that's the 29 of JB Chanot, and they'll clear out of 2, moves up high on ahead of Latanya Gray.
Getting that push from the teammate off the initial start, rounding 3 and 4, and Kobe Hollenbeck will pretty considerably
already
lead lap
3-4 car lengths ahead.
Oh, that was a close one right there. The 2 and the 41 got close to each other, but we keep it going. You really don't want to go 3 wide through the tri-oval. There's not that much room there, or quad-oval, I should say. But it is now a Columbia Motorsports 1-2 as Chanot has taken over second from the 81 of Latanya Gray. Billy Smith, who ran this race last year in the 08 and led some laps, had a pretty good, that was his first really good run that he had, the first of many. But Corbin Tapp's now going to the inside with help from another teammate. This time it's Tyler Landry in the 66 trying to gain some points on Tim Berry. We got a couple of pairs of teammates from 2 of the biggest teams in the series, Columbia Motorsports and McPickey Motorsports. And Taps, the rookie, is going to move into 3rd place, and now he's going to try and block Landry, but Landry's going to get the nose underneath anyway, and now they're side by side for
I see
third.
3 wide out of 4. That's Karina and Akita Tajima in the 99.
Filed back
Settled
down
it
to
out
2 wide.
through the quad oval.
Still side by side for third between the teammates as the Columbia Motorsports teammates start to pull away from them. But it looks like Taps will hold on to the spot if he can get down here in 3 and 4.
Not quite. I think Landry's going to get there.
He got loose. He got loose in the middle of the corner, and now Landry's back under him. And he's got the momentum.
A good battle here. Maybe Chanot looking to pass their teammate, the 79.
Landry will clear for third. And Chanot trying to look on Hollenbeck here on lap number 5. Doesn't quite have the run yet, but is still peeking down there. Taps is back underneath Landry now. And there's also a battle for fifth between Oscar Duval and James
More
Harper.
3 wide.
Oh, they make contact.
Yeah, Billy
Oh my
Smith losing
goodness.
out on a lot of ground there. Lost at least 3 positions. Gonna lose more here as the 39 of
Lakin Herndon.
Lakin Herndon passes.
It's another Columbia Motorsports car. In fact, he's the lowest running Columbia Motorsports car right now, and he's still in the top 15, so good start for that team. As for the race lead, the 29 looks, but the 79 is going to block her. Oh my goodness. 3 wide again coming off of turn 4. Oh, Landry's
Karina back on the
hooked.
inside. They're not gonna be as
Oh my
not
goodness.
as clear that time.
They saved it though. Landry and James Harmon had a moment there, but they figured it out. That could have ended in disaster. Here we go, side by side for the race lead. JB Chanot in the 29, but once again, Hollenbeck, he's getting that run off of turn number 2. You kind of see that at a lot of the 1.5 miles on the schedule. It's easy for them to get runs off of turn 2 up on the high side. But through the middle of the corner is a different story. It's kind of multi-group in 3 and 4, but through 1 and 2, you absolutely need to stick as close to the bottom as possible, just because there's less banking over there since that reconfiguration in 2017, the one that I'm sure NASCAR fans are very happy about, even
Yeah,
to this
and
day.
you easily wash up off the outside of 2. The exit of 2 is very different in Texas compared to other 1.5 mile tracks. You easily wash up and brush the outside wall. As
Oh my
the
goodness.
16.
Look at what Corbin Taps
Corbin
is doing.
Taps
He
looks
just,
for the lead now.
He just dispatched
Great
JB
run so far.
Chanot and is now going straight for the race lead. And that is the defending amateur, I guess not defending, that is the Amateur Series champion from last season. Side by side with Kobe Hollenbeck now. Oscar Duval has shown up here. And he's going to try and stick it 3 wide for second as Taps scoots away with the lead.
Hollenbeck struggling to find the inside line on 3 and 4, and that's really hurting her.
Hollenbeck's going to fall all the way down to 5th. Oscar Duval and Joe Smith are moving into 2nd and 3rd. Duval had a good run at the last 1.5 miles we went to at Chicagoland just 2 races ago. Ended up getting 3rd in that race. Looking for another good run here on a 1.5 miles, but Joe Smith's going to take him 3 wide through 3 and 4. He's going to get
Like
the
3 wide, Joe Smith with the fast run out of 4.
Oh, they're going to get into each other. Duval is in the wall.
Twice.
Chanot
They
got
keep
into the
going,
wall as
but
well.
the 27 is really significantly damaged there.
So is the 29 of Chanot, and they're both going to fall back, and that is going to significantly hurt their days. And that's just another race that Oscar Duval was running up in front, and something happened. Look who's in 4th. It's your pick to win. Karina Willis-Callaway has made she's made up some ground here early in the race. We're here on
Yeah,
lap
she
11.
didn't get the
She's made it to
greatest
top
of starts
5.
on the outside, but since then she's started picking through through the field and is up in the top 5 now.
Good run for her so far. Joe Smith, Tyler Landry trying to run down Corbin Taps. Took the lead on about lap number 8-ish, and he has not looked back since. And here comes Callaway again on the inside. Going for 3rd on Tyler Landry in the 66. Meanwhile, behind them, you have Tajima, you have Hollenbeck, and you have the 58 of Cheryl Simmons. As they run right now, all 4 Columbia cars are in the top 10. Adrian Wheeler's up here. Luana Connie is up here.
There's the past winner coming through, the 25.
Yeah, and you remember, she started all the way back in like 29, and she's already knocking
so,
on
yeah.
the door of the top 10.
You can see the 52 of Brousseau here is not too far back as well.
And there you see the points
And look who's
battle.
behind her!
Oh, everybody's going up. What's going on here? Oh, Chanot's pitting.
Oh, that's probably
gonna
for the
cause a
damage.
jam up, though.
So 3 wide with the championship leader momentarily.
And right in front of the 11 is the 98 of DuPont, who's the driver that's running him down. And this is the last car that DuPont wants to see right behind him.
Yeah, there's a real gaggle of cars. They're too wide for at least 10 cars.
Yeah, all
I think
that
the
was
entire
caused.
second half of the field is here.
Yeah, that was caused because of the 29 coming in to repair damage. Oscar Duval also comes in to repair damage, so that is bad news for both of them. They're both going to go a lap down. As Joe Smith has a run on Corbin Taps through turn number 2. We'll see if he makes any moves down the backstretch. But it seems like he's not close enough to make any moves yet. You see Karina up to 3rd, and Landry slipped back to 4th. It is a 7-car pack up here with the leaders. And then you go back to 8th place, which is Lake and Herndon. And then it's Adrian Wheeler, Billy Smith, Luana Connie. But it's mainly these front 7 that are contending out here. As you see the 29 leaving the pits. Probably multiple laps down by this point.
Yeah, I think both of the cars involved are now 2 laps down. Karina Willis-Callaway looks around, tries to find 2nd place.
Not going to make a move on Joe Smith. Joe Smith gets a good head of steam out of turn number 4. But they remain single file up in the top 7. Just kind of trying to build that momentum to make a run at the car in front of them.
Yeah, you can see Karina has lost a little bit of momentum after looking around trying to find a way past the 88. Now the 66 has a chance to get 3rd back.
Tyler Landry in the 66. Of course, we know how impressive he is. Just 19 years old and has already established himself as one of the best drivers in the series. He has yet to win this season, but he's still been a proper contender throughout the entire thing. And
yeah, only one of the top 5 that hasn't won a race yet.
That is not true. Karina, actually,
No, I mean in points.
Yeah. In terms of the actual top 5, the only one that's won so far this season is the 79 of Kobe Hollenbeck.
Hollenbeck, yes.
The other 4 have yet to win, and Corbin Taps is looking for his first career win. As they're side by side for 3rd now, as the 41 made the pass on Joe Smith. Landry tried to make a move, but he lost some momentum off of 2, and they're still side by side for 2nd, but it looks like Karina's going to get the spot here. Neither of these drivers have
Karina
won
should take
since
2nd
season 1.
easily.
Karina will take over 2nd. I was going to say, neither of these drivers have won since season 1. This is Joe Smith's last season, so you know he's going to want to try and end with a bang here.
Landry and Smith side by side, and 2 Columbia cars behind them are doing the same thing.
Tajima underneath
Tajima moving
Hollenbeck.
forward as well, trying to get some extra points.
Here comes the 41. Oh, she got out of the gas there. You can see it off of turn 4, and that is going to hurt her momentum significantly.
Yeah, she timed the run too early, and that's going to let the 66 in.
Yeah, that was not the greatest exit there for the 41, but Tap's still out in front. She's going to have more chances to get to Taps. She's getting a run down the backstretch.
Looks like a 3-way battle now.
Definitely seems to be that way, and we're close again on the first pit cycle. That's going to be about 8 laps from now, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, and who decides to undercut versus who decides to overcut. 41 looking to the inside
around,
into
there she
turn 1.
goes.
Here comes Karina Willis-Callaway for the lead. On Corbin Taps, they're side by side off of turn 2. Corbin keeping it going on the outside. Not as good of a run that he wanted to get, though. And Karina's going to clear for the lead. Your pick's already doing better than most people's picks. She's about to lead a lap, so she's looking pretty fast here in this first stint. We'll see if they can keep that up through the rest of the race.
Yeah, pit stops are going to be key here.
Pit stops, absolutely, and pit strategy. Both going to be very important. You need to be fast in the pits, and you got to have the right call to when you're going to pit. And Rashi, if you were the crew chief, when would you bring your driver down? Would you like him to pit earlier or later? Do we have an internet outage? I believe we did. So, I'm going to be by myself for a little bit
Yeah, I
here.
lost the image a little bit there.
Oh, we're back. Okay.
No, I'm back. Hello.
All right.
I feel like you, to answer your question, I feel like you would want to kind of undercut. I feel like the undercut's a little bit more powerful, but also I'm working from a layman's point of view here. I think the guys over at the pit booths have got this all calculated up. We'll see what they try to do.
You can see the difference between their last lap and their best lap. We've had about over a second of tire fall off here. So
yeah,
it's only a matter of
second,
time.
so pretty significant time lost staying out track.
Yeah, only a matter of time before they bring their drivers in here. For context for what's happening, our internet's having maintenance right here, so there might be some times where the co-commentator blinks out. That's not them blinking out, that's me blinking out. So we might be having some issues with that, but so far nothing major, and hopefully it stays that way. We're going to stay out here on lap 26. I don't expect anyone to start coming in until about lap 28 or 29. That's when the first ones start to trickle into the pits. Oh, Landry diving into turn
late
1.
Here.
He's trying to get the lead.
Must have saved up his tires. He's looking around trying to find a way past the 41 right before pit stops. Although the 16 might go first.
Taps underneath, going for second, and he's going to stick
his room
nose.
To go for first.
Oh, he's going to pit. He's pitting now.
He's coming in.
And Landry's also coming in. The 41
brought in everyone
is
in the
stay
top
out.
5.
In fact, both of the Connie Twins Motorsports are going to stay out. They're going to be 1-2 for the time being.
Those Connie cars, yep. And the 39 stays out. 28 of Wheeler. 3 of Joe Smith.
Billy Smith in the
Billy Smith.
Car.
Yeah,
Joe's in the 88. Kate Summers and a couple
other
cars.
There's the 2 damaged cars.
Tim Barry, points leader, staying out. I think I saw damage on the side of the 62 as well. And yeah, she's also
significant damage. Big gash on the side.
So that's not good for Vinny Scholes in the 62.
This is most of the rest of the field here.
Oh, that was tight there between the 57 and the 85. And most of the other cars are coming in on lap 29. Look at this.
Landry comes out well ahead. Great
getting
stop on the 66.
Big lead off of the pit cycle.
88 past the 16 as well.
What a pit stop from Tyler Landry, and that is exactly what he needed. That's probably going to shoot him into the lead. And we'll see what happens with the second group of cars. I say probably
slightly
because
misaligned on pit road. Here comes the 41.
I say probably because the 41 and all these guys coming in when they did, they probably lost some time.
There's the 66 right there.
Landry's pretty far back, though. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Should be in 1 and 2 right now. There he is. Well ahead.
And he's gonna
the 41's not going to come out until right then.
So Landry will be the leader, but he will be on older tires than the 41. So we'll see if Karina Willis-Callaway can run him down. Joe Smith 3rd, Corbin Taps 4th. Luana Connie's going to cycle out to 5th for the meantime. Zach Dearman looks like he's in 6th.
In the 18. I don't think we've talked about him at all.
Yeah, he has not really shown up at the front until now, so another great pit stop there by Zach Dearman. Randall Ripp is in the top 10 as well. Part-time driver.
The 32
for
is in that
Racing.
second half of the field.
And he's made his way up in the top 10, so good run for him as well. As you see the lead for Tyler Landry, it's about 1.6 seconds last time by. There you see the damaged 62 of Vinny Scholes, who's currently running in last, so they took quite a bit of time repairing that car. She is on the lead lap still.
Yeah, she's on the tail end.
I think it's because the 29 and 27.
Yeah, they haven't stopped yet because they came in, lap? Like halfway through the pit cycle.
Yeah, they are off sequence, so they're hoping to get a caution right now so that they can get back on sequence.
Oh, can we check out where that 11 is? I think he filtered out quite a fair ways ahead.
Yeah, DuPont is struggling. He's back in 29.
DuPont's way back. Yeah, DuPont's way down.
And Tim
11
Barry
is 17th. Okay, he's made up a few spots.
He is in 18th.
Slowly picking away.
Yeah, he's already gained 10 spots from his starting position, so this is exactly what he needed to do. He needed to limit the damage from the low starting spot, and he's doing that pretty well so far. In terms of championship contenders ahead of him, you see Tajima's up here, and That's about it.
Yeah, Landry's, of course,
And Landry, too, in
still at the
first
top,
place.
at the front of the field, yeah.
Corbin taps, moving underneath Joe Smith for third. Luana Connie's been brought into this battle, and we have a 4-car battle back here between the 99, 18, 32, and 28. How about Adrian Wheeler? It took him 17 races to get his first top 10, but ever since then, he's been pretty good. He got his first win at Canadian Tire, and he's gotten a couple top 10 since then, so he's been having good runs lately. Kind of saving his job, I guess, because there was rumors that Checker Flag Racing was going to do their Checker Flag Racing thing and cut him early in the season, but seems like they're committed to him for the season now, considering his recent successes. Luana Connie's up to 4th. Joe Smith's lost a couple of spots now.
Karina's picking away at the lead, about a 10th a lap, I think.
1.2 last time by, still 1.2, so about even that last time, but
Not even, yeah.
last time we checked, the lead was about 1.7 seconds, so she's closed in half a second so far. We'll see what she can do in that 41 with the 1-lap pressure tires. 25's also on 1-lap pressure tires. Ooh, Joe Smith sends it in turn 3. They're still battling each other for 4th. Luana's got to make sure she doesn't use up her tires now.
Yep, she'll clear just about.
Luana will hold off Joe Smith for 4th, and now the gap is under a second between the 66 and the 41.
That time.
Running a bit of a higher line in 3 and 4. We'll see what the gap is this time by. Oh yeah, here she comes.
41's in rhythm.
There's another 10. This 16 has broken away.
Still 2 seconds back.
Yeah, 16 has broken away from this battle here. We'll see if he starts closing in on the 66 as well. Tyler Landry doing all he can. 41 once again running a little bit higher through 3 and 4, trying to get that run off the corner. And it's working out. That 41 is getting much bigger in the 66's mirror. It's now almost half a second.
16 also down to under 2 seconds now.
Yeah, so also Corbin taps closing in on this lead battle. And this will definitely be turning into a battle here in a few minutes, as we are now on lap 38 of 84. Caution-free race so far. Last year we had, I believe, 2 cautions. So, drivers have been racing relatively clean here this race. We had a couple incidents off of turn 4 of cars hitting the wall, but that's about it. And the 41 has now sucked up to the back of the 66 car, and she's going to go for the lead here down the back straightaway into 3.
Side by side into 3, Karina Willis Calloway. But they'll be side by side out of 4 and into the quad oval.
Oh, Landry washed up the track a bit. Karina's got the advantage.
Karina's going to
the
clear
quad
there.
oval, and she's going to be clear heading into turn 1.
41 back to the lead. The 16 is 1.5 seconds back.
Landry thought about trying to cross over here. He's peeking his nose to the outside going into 3 and 4. He's not going down without a fight.
Now, Karina moved up a little bit just to cover off the 66's run there.
There you saw the 27 of Duval in the pits. So those 2 cars that got damaged earlier did not
These 2
get
are
the
going
caution
to
they
drag
wanted.
the 16 back in.
Yeah, only 1.3 seconds here. Luana Connie's now under 2 seconds from the leader. So we might get some more cars roped into this battle. It's very clear, though, that the 41 on the fresher tires is faster than the 66. 66 is struggling to keep up now. And the gap, while still short, is a bit bigger than it was a couple laps ago. The 29 and 62 are not too far ahead of the leaders, so there is a possibility that the leaders run into them. The 29, I think, still has to pit, though, because look at the last lap time on that car. She's still looking for that yellow. She's not going to get it. She's coming in now.
There she goes in, yeah. Stay it out as long as possible, I think, but caution is not coming at this point. Feels very spread out.
Looking back here, this is for a top 5 spot. Randall Riff underneath Joe Smith. Adrian Wheeler not far behind. Randall Riff has one top 5 in his career. It was back at Willow Springs in Season 2. On his debut. Has not had a top 5 since then, but of course has only run about 8 or 9 races, so that is to be expected. He's going to move into the top 5 here soon, but
Yeah, 3
Adrian
cars
Wheeler
in
is
the
right
top
behind him.
within a second.
Oh yeah, Landry's still there, and here comes Taps. And the 25 not too far behind either. Tell you what, Landry's done a great job of keeping up with the 41. Maybe by now the tires are kind of evened out a little bit. It was enough to get the 41 to the lead, but not enough to allow her to pull away that much. So Landry is still there, and Taps is about to join the battle here soon as well.
Yeah, I think everyone here in the top 3 is pretty even now. Now that they're together anyways. I think it's just going to be down to managing your momentum.
16 using that draft to kind of pull up to the 66 here. None of these three drivers battling for the lead right now have won this season. Karina Willis-Callaway's last win was in Season 1. Landry's only win to date. It's kind of surprising he's only won one race, but he has. His only win was back in Season 2. And Corbin Taps looking for his first career win. That 41's starting to pull away from the McPicky cars, though. Look at the gap that she opened out throughout that last lap.
Yeah, 66 is a little bit burned out here. He's lost actually another 3/10 there.
Yeah, that's quite a major loss there for the 66. I think if Corbin Taps wants to keep up with the 41, he's going to have to find a way around his teammate as soon as possible. Because those 66 tires, yeah, they're cooked. Look at that. He's already dropped to second.
29.4, yeah. Good short run pace on the 66, but not quite the best car on the longer runs here. As the laps go by, 18 laps now into the run. Actually, it'll be 20 laps for the 66 because he came in on 27.
Yeah, and he's definitely going to be one of the first ones to come in next time by. They're side by side for second now. Landry getting the run up top, but Taps is still to his inside. Almost contact going into turn number 3, and Corbin Taps will take over second. And Vinnie Schultz is getting caught by the 41, so I wonder if she's going to end up playing a factor here. The gap was basically exactly a second last time by between the 41 and the 16. Oh, Landry just blew up! Oh, from third place, and that's going to be a points disaster for Tyler Landry. Oh, no!
Yeah, terrible timing for the 66 when running a good race consistently in the top 5 all day.
He's
at least going to be a good points day, and that just turned upside down.
That could be curtains for Tyler Landry in terms of the championship. I know we've got about 6 races to go after this, but
yeah, that's a huge gift for Tim Berry because the 66 of Landry was by far the best car of the contenders this week.
Yeah, and now the furthest up car that is in that position.
I think it's still Tajima, yeah.
Tajima
is at the edge of the top 10.
There's Berry.
Berry's there and thereabouts. Still in 18th. Hasn't made up any ground since we last checked in on him, but there is a whole pack of cars ahead.
Yeah, he's doing well enough to maintain that lead, especially since Landry just blew up. There's the Harvin brothers racing each other, battling each other for 19th. And George Bryan not having a great race in 24th. Kevin DuPont having an even worse race in 29th. Here's Bridget Rousseau in her first race running 26th, so not the greatest race for her either, but it is her first race, so we'll cut her some slack. And
41's caught up now.
41 has caught the lap. Well, I think she's tail end of the lead lap, but probably about to be lap number 62 car of Vinnie Schultz. It was a header issue on Tyler Landry, and he
definitely
is going to
close
finish
enough
last.
Where that 62's wake's gonna start hurting the 41 now.
That is possible.
And it is kind of starting to show here. The 16's just chipping away right now.
You could feel the slowness coming off of turn 2 from that 16 car. 29.6
Yeah,
last time by.
everyone's tires are on. They're not in the greatest shape. I think they've dropped off about a second at least now.
So here's an interesting thing here. This second pit cycle is going to be way more interesting than the first one because we're going to have a lot more mix, a lot bigger of a spread of cars coming into the pits. And also, the last run is shorter than the first 2 runs. So here, more than ever, is more important. It's most important to really figure out when you're going to bring your driver in.
Yeah, hopefully all the teams have been doing the work in terms of, observing how their cars work with tires because timing your stop right, someone's coming, and I think that's the 16.
Corbin
Yes, it
Taps
is.
from second. He will be the first one, lap 55. That's very early.
That's very early, yeah. There's still 30 laps to go. I don't know if that's a great call. So is the 99.
Tajima, they're trying to... They got right in their window to make it and decided to come in immediately.
Yeah,
Harbin's
about,
in. We have several cars coming in.
I think 41's
so
going to stay out. No?
Yeah, I was going to say, we might see the
41's
41
got to
pit
cover
this
up,
time.
yeah.
Luana Connie's going to stay out.
Luana Connie's going to stay out.
She'll lead a
Yeah,
lap.
these guys are going to be suffering on those tires by the end.
And those tires are going to be screaming. I think these guys, honestly, I think these guys that are staying out in this scenario, I think that's the right call as long as you don't stay out too long. I think what Luana Connie in the 25 is doing right now is a great strategy if she comes in this time by on lap 56.
Yeah.
Because she'll have 2 lap fresher tires than a lot of the field, 1 lap fresher tires. And that's what she's going to do here. Lake and Herndon going to come in. Kate Summers going to come in.
Summers stayed out late as well. There's the 11 of Tim Bryant.
Except Duval,
that's the 27,
sequence.
But yeah, those guys are off sequence. Did not B9 come ahead? Oh no, there's 16.
Taps is well ahead of Tajima. And here comes the second group. There's Karina.
Watch where the 41 comes out. There she is.
She's exiting 2 here.
Out of 2, down the backstretch, and there's the 16.
Here comes
41
Landry.
should be ahead here.
The 41's not up to speed yet, though.
At least momentarily.
The 16 is going to be
He's
right
going to use
on
that
the
outside
bumper.
line.
Here he comes. 41's still not up to speed. And Landry, Corbin Tapp's going to try and take advantage here.
Side by side, 41 just in the lead, but Corbin Taps is going to have the inside line into 1.
And there you see the 25 on the inside, along with the 39. 39 actually come out pretty close to her. And there's the lap 62 of Vinnie Scholes, or about to be lapped. And the leaders are about to run up on her. But I think the fact that she has fresher tires will keep these leaders from really catching her fully.
Yeah.
Randall Riff is now the 3rd place driver.
Another good cycle for the 32 team. Another one for the 28 as well. Both of these guys.
Oh, Wheeler drifts
Randall
up
Riff,
a bit.
Randall Riff especially. Probably down for a top 5 here.
Yeah, 32 and 28 have nailed their pit stops. But the car that I want to watch here on this last stint is this pink number 25, Luana Connie. Both the Connie Motorsports cars in the top 5. But the 25 has the freshest tires out of anybody in the top 5. And look at this, the 41's to the back bumper, the 16, maybe the 62
Karina's right
is
there.
kind of playing a factor. Will Karina pull inside going into 3? Doesn't look like it.
No, she's gonna follow the 16. She's gonna look, but she's gonna look a little bit later. I think she's trying to make a move into 1, where it's more of an advantage on the inside, but 16 should have it covered here.
Landry doing a good job so far, holding them off. Riff lost time to the leaders.
We'll see if Karina's tires turn on later in the run like it did last time.
But remember, that's what happened to Taps as well, even though Taps did hit earlier.
Here's a lap car that will be in the way, the 29 on old tires.
JB Chanot. The 16 is going to get to the inside. If she gets in Karina's way, that could be bad
should
for
be
her.
through into 1 here.
Both of them will get by the 29 of JB Chanot. At least from the looks of it. Karina's having a bit more trouble getting clear, but she will get clear. She lost some time to the 16 car. The 16 kind of using the 62 as drafting help right now. But you know, they're still going very fast around this track. Average speed is 175 miles an hour, so the draft is very important here. You can see they're pushing 200.
Almost 200, yeah.
Karina's staying within striking distance, though, and that's what she needs to do.
Looks like it's going to be down to these two. The 32 isn't really catching up. He's still 2.3 seconds back.
Yeah, Riff is not closing in on the leaders. Luana Connie has
It's going to take a lot for Luana to catch 3 seconds. But there is still 20 laps to go. More than that, actually.
There is still time, but Luana's having trouble getting by Adrian Wheeler right now.
Yeah, she wants to be third as quickly as possible.
Neither of them are losing time. The 32 definitely is, but the 28 and 25 are keeping pace with the leaders right now. And Luana's going to try and get to the inside of the 28 here, and she's going to move up into 4th. And it was a masterclass of tire saving that helped her win last week at Phoenix. Seems like she's doing that today here too. And I got to remind you, the crew chief of this 25 car this week is her brother, Kaleo Connie. And
she's going to get held up here by the 29.
Oh, I was going to say
not what she wanted at all. Worst place to catch him.
He's known as being a very good strategic driver, and so he kind of functions as the crew chief for that car. Oh boy.
Meanwhile, another lap car, that's Duval in the way.
Oscar Duval in the 27.
Both leaders are going to lap Vinny Schultz in the 62.
Oh, the 27.
Duval's in the way of the 16 there.
Karina Willis-Callaway having trouble once again getting by the lap cars.
Yeah, not as strong in the exit of 2. It happened before with the 29. It's happening again with the 27.
But she bumped him out of the way. She's not having any of that. 20 laps to go now. 19 to go. And Karina definitely lost some time after that excursion. She's struggled to get past those lap cars. Randall Riff 2.5 seconds back. Luana Connie now up in 4th. I was saying Kaleo is her crew chief when he's not driving. So kind of makes sense that this 25 car is doing better at these kinds of tracks where the strategy is very important. But here we go. Karina's going to reel the 16 back in. She's going to have another shot at him. We'll see what she does.
The 16 does look a bit more comfortable in the front than the 66 was in the second run.
Yeah, it's definitely been harder for the 41 to get past Taps than it was to get past Landry. Corbin Taps looking pretty good right now, and as far as the Rookie of the Year battle, JT Boyd is back in 21st, so Taps would gain quite a bit of points on him for that. But here we go. Karina Willis-Callaway, about a quarter of a second back of the 16. And look at this, Randall Riff, 2.1 seconds, Luana Connie, 2.7. Are they starting to reel in the leaders? Oh boy. Vinny Scholes trying to get underneath Karina Willis-Callaway. And she will. And that is going to hurt the 41 car. Unless the 62 goes after the 16 as well. Remember, she's on fresher tires than the leaders.
Yeah, slightly newer tires, I think.
And now
we're starting to hit the grading stage. Lap 70 is coming.
Yeah. Karina Willis-Callaway now behind the 62 car.
And Luana is caught up to the 32.
2.6 seconds. I tell you what, I think those
tires here's when the 22 can really shine.
Trying to get past Randall Riff, 2.3 seconds back. She gained 0.3 of a second on the leaders. Oh boy. This 25 is flying. Does she have enough time, though, to get up to these two?
14 laps. It's going to take a couple tenths a lap at least.
Karina trying to get past the lap car once again of Vinny Scholes. Trying to get her out of the way.
Yeah, the 62 is just as fast as these guys.
She's being a nuisance to these drivers. Look at her, the run off of turn 2. That was a great run off of 2. I think if the 62 gets under the 16, though, that's what the 41 wants, because she's going to fight that 16 car.
Yeah, that's going to blow the door wide open on this battle.
And she's closing in on him. That run off of turn 2 gave her a lot of momentum. And she might be to the inside going into 1.
This might be Karina's best hope. If the 62 can force the 16 off of his comfort zone, that might be the key. Meanwhile, the 25 is down to 1.8 seconds back.
She is rapidly closing in. Randall Riff is closing in as
Riff
well.
is doing a good job hanging on to her.
Yeah.
Probably going to be a 3,
Oh,
maybe
look at
4-way
this.
battle. Here comes Vinny.
62 going underneath. The 41 is going to try and follow her, and we're side by side for the lead again.
This is the best place for Karina to sneak in.
Oh, not that great through the entrance
Not
of
that
turn
great.
1.
Yeah.
But the exit of 2
He
is
needs
strong.
to push the 62 as hard as possible.
She is pushing her, and she's going to try and get under the
And
62
there she
now.
goes.
Karina
Gonna
Willis
force the
Calloway.
62 in front of the 16.
Karina Willis Calloway back in front, and all of this is helping the 25 close in faster. As the 41 still side by side with the 62. Corbin Taps trying to find a way through.
Though.
He peaked trying to force it up the middle, but that just wasn't going to work. 1.2 seconds now back to the 25. The 32 is coming with her as well. Still battling the 62 side by side. The 62 is not giving up. She's giving the leaders fits right now.
Still side by side out of 4. The 62 is not giving up as the 32 comes into the inside of the 25.
Randall Riff trying to pass Luana Connie. And I think he's going to do it going into turn 1. These two have finally gotten past the 62.
Cleared the 62.
But for how long?
For now.
She peeked across over there on the 16 going into turn 3. Didn't end up doing it. Riff's going to move into 3rd.
That's given Karina a little bit of breathing room. Just a couple of tenths, but that's quite a lot in this race.
We got 9 laps to go now for Karina Willis Calloway. Oh my goodness, Taps has a run going into turn 1, but wasn't able to close in fast enough. Almost down to a second now between the leader and the 32 of Riff.
Schultz right on the 16 jumper still.
I remember 62 and 32 are teammates, so this holding up that the 62 has been doing has been helping her Pacific Racing teammate out. Karina Willis Calloway starting to open up a gap now on these guys.
4 tenths that time, just under it.
And the 32 is now within a second. So this will be a 4-car battle for the win here late in the going at Texas Motor Speedway. Karina Willis Calloway trying to break a 50-plus race winless drought. I believe the complete total, if I'm not mistaken, is 55 races since her last win. So it's a long time coming for Karina Willis Calloway, who has been a strong driver all the way through this series. Doesn't look like lap cars are going to play a factor aside from the 62 car and the 41.
Aside from the obvious one, yeah. 32 is up to the 62's bumper, though. We'll see what the Pacific guys do here.
Yeah, the 62 is
the
not
62
relented.
might be a nuisance, but will she finally let go just to give her teammate a chance to go for the win here?
This would be first career win for Randall Riff as well, if he's able to pull it off. And he'd be the second part-time driver to do it this season, behind Damon Kirby. Oh boy, the 41 in a very bad corner.
Yeah, 41 really slowed down out of 2. Look at Vinny Schultz, though. She's looking to the inside.
The Corbin Taps had enough. He had enough of a momentum to make him move for the lead, but the 62 got in the way. And now here comes the 32 and the 25. Schultz is now behind the 41, and she's going to have to defend with her life here, because if the 62 gets under her, it might be game over. We've only got 5 laps to go, and these 3 are hungry for a win here today. Taps looking underneath the 16. He says he's going to do it himself.
We just got to close the door here.
Oh, she's going to slam the door.
Just barely going to be able to do it.
Just enough for the 16. Still
not quite enough, though.
But a good run through the quad oval keeps the 41 ahead. Meanwhile, they're battling for 3rd behind them. 4 laps to go. Can Karina Willis Calloway hold on? Or will Corbin Taps find a way around her? 3 of the last 4 races have been decided within 2 laps to go. It might be 4 of the last 5 if this keeps up.
An extra carling for the 41 must feel like paradise right now.
The 16's pitting!
The 16's coming in!
He burned his tires! Oh my goodness!
Oh
No way.
dear, can everyone make it now?
3 laps to go. Can the 41 make it to the end? The 25's moved to 2nd. And the Calypso cars are now 1-2.
1-2 for now, but we'll see if the 41 can make it to the end.
She's looking good here. Looks like the 62
Looking good,
is
yeah.
gonna come
62
in.
is coming in, so it's the 32.
The Pacific cars couldn't make it, and now it's Connie Twins Motorsports 1-2 with 2 laps to go and no challengers.
Cars are coming in left and right. There's another car into the pits.
As long as they can make it,
The
Dearman's
18
in,
is in, yeah.
Tashima's in, Blake's in, Smith's in. A lot of cars could not make it, and look at the
Tim Berry is not coming in.
Barry trying to
not
stretch
yet,
it.
anyways.
Here we go, coming to the white flag, 1 lap
coming
to go.
In now.
Ryan is coming in. Luana's coming in. Neither of them can
Who
make
can
it.
Make
can
it?
anyone make it?
Can the 92 make it? She stays out.
White flag.
One more lap
to go. Kate Summers looking for her second win of the season, trying to steal one here for Pacific Racing. She has Billy Smith behind her, trying to run her down. Trying to get past the 16. Down the backstretch one final time. Kate Summers in the 92 on fumes. Coming through turn 4.
She's good to go now. Just has to. A little bit more to go.
Kate Summers goes to victory lane at Texas. Second win of the season in dramatic fashion. And
look at the 11. The 11 finished third.
And Tim Berry is going to extend his points lead again. Rebecca Raymond fourth. Bridget Brasseau gets a top 5.
Unbelievable run by the 52. And the 11th. That right there from the 11 might be a championship crowning run right there.
You know, I pointed it out. We all pointed it out when they pitted on lap 55. That seemed very, very early for the cycle to start. And it turns out it was. Oh, you got to feel for the Connie Twins Motorsports team. They were 1-2 coming to the white.
Only 8 cars were able to hold up to the end there. You can see the Connie cars ended up 9th and 10th.
Oh my goodness.
George Bryan also salvaged a good finish.
Yeah, that's
and so did JT Boyd.
That's going to be good for Bryan and Boyd in the points. Ah, man.
Where did the 66... Wait, no, where did the...
16? Corbin
16, 19th, 19th.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. What a topsy-turvy finish to this race. Unexpected fuel mileage here. Kate Summers gets win number 2 of the season. And, you know, we were talking about Pacific Racing could have won this race, but we thought it was going to be the 32 that was going to have the best shot. Kate Summers.
Yeah, meanwhile, the 92 of Summers was hanging out in 10th basically all of that last run, until the end where she just made it work to the very, very last turn.
I am pretty sure we did not say a word about Kate Summers all race until she took the lead.
I think we mentioned her like twice.
Maybe, but out of
I think, yeah, but otherwise, no, he was barely in the picture.
Nowhere. Kate Summers, Pacific Racing get their second win of the season. Third win for both of them. Billy Smith comes home second, and you know what? You go back to Daytona. That was a fuel mileage finish. Billy Smith ended up winning it over Kate Summers in that race. Maybe a bit of redemption for that race at the next crown jewel we went to. Kate Summers gets the best of Billy Smith this time. Tim Berry finishing third out of nowhere. You know, he came up from 28th on the grid, ended up finishing third. That 28-3 run was definitely what he needed. In terms of the points, Rebecca Raymond with another strong finish. And it was recently announced just yesterday that Rebecca Raymond's going to be driving for Checkered Flag Racing next season. And a lot of people kind of criticize the move, but lately she's been having some very good finishes. She wasn't running great today, but she got the finish where she mattered. And how about Bridget Brasseau in 5th on debut? That is, you know, we were pointing out, hey, she was struggling, but you know, it's okay because it's her first start, and we'll cut her some slack.
It's her first start, yeah.
She got a top 5
anyway. She ran the whole race in, you know, a pretty decent position. Was able to make the best of the situation right there.
Yeah. 14 cars finishing on the lead lap. 8 of them made it on fuel to the end. But man, you gotta feel bad for Karina Willis-Callaway. She's come so close so many times to breaking that winless drought.
I think I was as close as it got. One more lap and it would have been enough.
It was looking like a storybook ending for both the Calypso cars to finish 1-2. But neither of them had the fuel to make it. Wow, what an ending to this one here at Talladega. Caution-free race. And the race didn't even run that much longer than the typical LSCI race. Look at that, 52 minutes.
Yeah, not even an hour.
34 cars finished the race. The only one not to, of course, that's a big one. Tyler Landry, after blowing up from third place. And that is going to significantly hurt him in the points. Well, Rashi, give us a bit of a rundown of what happened here in this race. Your thoughts on what went down here today, and then maybe give us a preview for next week. And next week is going to be at the Talladega Super Speedway, so that is going to be a crazy race too.
Well, Brennan, you mentioned it was going to be a strategy race. I think you were underestimating even that. That was down to the very last moment a strategy race. And yeah, as you mentioned, when they were coming in at about lap 55, you mentioned that they were going to be running long on tires. I don't think anybody. I was thinking that as well, but I didn't even think about the fuel situation. I'm not entirely sure what everyone was thinking at the end there. They must have planned for a caution to come out, at least early on in the race, so they were able to save a few laps just at the beginning. But in the end, since this race went caution free, everyone had to stretch it, and only 8 cars were able to do so.
Yeah,
and as for Talladega,
Talladega.
Well, it might be the exact opposite of this race, to be honest. That one's just going to be full throttle the entire way.
Yeah, Talladega, obviously going to be very similar to the Daytona race. And Daytona, that ended on fuel strategy, but I don't expect that's going to happen at Talladega. It's a shorter race in general, so. But, we might actually get to see that full green flag pit cycle come into fruition, because we almost had it happen at Daytona, and then a caution came out and only a couple cars pitted. But yeah, Talladega is going to be fun. We've got a lot of fun paint scheme shenanigans going on for that race as well. We've got all 4 of the Columbia cars are going to be running their Mobile 1 schemes. The 62 is going to be running a Ricky Bobby paint scheme. We got a lot of fun stuff for Talladega next week, and I always look forward to that race. A lot of cars enter for that race too, so we might have some surprising D&Qs as well. But man, how about that? Another race that was decided in the last 2 laps, and last week it was Luana Connie coming out on the right end of it. This week it's Luana Connie coming out on the wrong end of it, as well as Karina Willis-Callaway, her teammate. And that's 4 of the last 5 races that have been decided within the last 2 laps. We have absolutely had some crazy finishes lately here in the LSCI. And of course, with Talladega next week, it's very possible we get another crazy finish at the end of that one. So it's just been getting...
It'll be a different type of crazy finish, to be fair.
Yeah, it's just been getting all wild and crazy here lately in the LSCI, and that's the way I like it. So it's been a thrilling last few weeks, and it's only going to get better from here. Well, that's going to do it for today's festivities. Congratulations once again to Kate Summers and Pacific Racing. Bit of a self-pat on the back there. That's 2 wins for Pacific Racing. I'm happy about it. But I definitely kind of pulled this one from nowhere. But you know what? You take them when you can get them. And it's only going to continue.
A win's a win, you know what?
Yeah, you only continue. It only continues getting crazy from here. Thanks.
Look, the Pacific had a car battle for the lead, and it had a car that won.
Yeah.
Was it the same car? No.
No.
But that doesn't matter.
Yeah, we still got the win. It's very different from Kate Summers' first win, too. She absolutely dominated the field, led all but 8 laps at Dover for her first win. This one, she pulled out of nowhere. So, just both ends of the domination spectrum in terms of completely dominating and not dominating at all. So, yeah. That's going to do it for today's festivities. Thank you again, Rasha Mahendra, for joining me in the booth here today. Great to have you back again.
Thank you. It's great being here.
And next week, of course, Talladega. We've already hyped it up enough. It's going to be a crazy race for sure. We've had a string of crazy races here today, and it's almost certainly going to continue next week. But On behalf of Rasha and myself here at the Left Turn Network, this is Brendan Wilmington signing out.